Hey everyone, welcome back. All right, so you know how we're always diving into the big trends shaping the future of work?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this one I think you're going to find really interesting. It landed on my desk and I was like, oh, we have to unpack this.
I'm excited to hear it.
So get this right. It's an article, but it's written as this imaginary conversation,
Okay.
like a roundtable discussion with Yuval Noah Harari,
Oh, wow.
Elon Musk, Ray Kurzweil, some really big
It's
names.
like a who's who of the future of work.
Exactly. And they're all riffing on Harari's book, Homo Deus, which, if you haven't read, it's basically this mind-blowing exploration of how technology is pushing humanity towards, well, becoming more than human.
Right, transcending our biological limits.
Yeah, exactly. And when I saw this article with all these different perspectives, I was like, this is perfect for a deep dive.
Yeah, it's like we're dropped right into the middle of the debate.
Exactly. And it gets right into the thick of it, too. Like, right off the bat, Musk is talking about his company, Neuralink.
Oh, right, the whole brain-computer interface thing.
Yeah. And he's not talking about it in some abstract way either. He's like, yeah, we're talking about merging our minds with machines, downloading information, being able to control devices with our thoughts.
I mean, it's like straight out of science fiction.
I know, right? And then Kurzweil jumps in with his usual optimism and starts talking about how by the 2040s, we'll be able to merge with AI.
Wow, so like no more separation between us and technology.
Exactly. And then Kaku just throws another log on the fire and starts talking about how this is all going to play out as we become a multiplanetary species.
Whoa, okay, so we're talking about superhuman intelligence space travel.
Oh, yeah, this conversation goes there.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It really is. And, it would be easy to dismiss it all as just like futuristic fantasy, but
Well, that's not.
right, these aren't just abstract ideas anymore. This stuff is happening and it's happening fast.
And that's what makes it so important to talk about.
Absolutely, because the future of work isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create through the choices we make today.
So we better understand
Yeah.
the forces shaping that future.
Exactly. And that's what this deep dive is all about. So buckle up. Okay, so we've thrown out some pretty wild ideas here.
Yeah, we're talking about fundamentally changing what it means to be human.
Exactly. And with all that in mind, it's like, okay, but what about our jobs? What about the day-to-day?
Right, because it's easy to get caught up in these big picture ideas.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, most of us still have to earn a living.
Exactly. And that's where this whole AI and automation thing gets really interesting.
It's the question everyone's asking, right?
Yeah.
Are robots going to steal our jobs?
Right. And this roundtable does not shy away from that question at all.
So what do these big thinkers have to say about it?
Well, you've got Elon Musk, and he's never one to sugarcoat things.
Yeah, he's not exactly known for his subtlety.
Exactly. And he's basically saying, look, if we're not careful, AI could become the ultimate job-stealing monster.
Okay, so he's not exactly optimistic?
No, not really. He even talks about this potential future where machines are calling the shots and humans are, well, kind of left out in the cold.
I mean, that's a pretty chilling thought coming from someone like Elon Musk.
Right, and he's not just some random doomsayer. He's at the forefront of these technologies.
So we should probably pay attention when he starts waving red flags like that.
Exactly, because it's not just about, oh, will a robot take my job? It's about what skills and knowledge will even be valuable.
In a world where AI can do so much.
Right, so if a machine can do your job faster, cheaper, better than you, what's going to set you apart?
So it's not just about learning a new skill. It's about being adaptable.
Yeah.
Being able to constantly learn and evolve.
Exactly. And this is something that comes up again and again in this conversation, this idea of lifelong learning becoming absolutely essential.
Because the skills you have today might be obsolete tomorrow.
Exactly. But okay, before we all spiral into an existential crisis, let's hear what the optimists have to say.
Okay, because we could use a little bit of good news right about now.
Right. So Kurzweil being Kurzweil, he's still wildly optimistic.
Of course he is.
He's like, look throughout history. Every time there's been a major technological advancement, people freak out. They think it's the end of work as we know it.
And is he right?
Well, he argues that the printing press, the steam engine, the internet, they all caused panic and disruption in the short term, but they also created new jobs, new industries.
So he's saying AI will be no different.
Exactly. He's saying instead of fearing the robots, we should focus on how AI can free us from those repetitive, soul-crushing tasks.
Okay, so instead of like replacing us entirely, AI could actually liberate us.
Exactly. Imagine a world where work is less about, punching a clock and more about pursuing your passions, exploring new ideas.
That sounds pretty idyllic.
Right. But okay, hold on. Because just when you thought it couldn't get any more utopian.
There's always a catch, right?
Yeah, right. Max Tegmark jumps in and he's like, Guys, this is all happening a lot faster than we realize.
Okay, so a little dose of reality.
Yeah, he's like, look, I'm not saying AI is bad, but we are not prepared for the speed of these changes. We don't have the ethical frameworks in place.
So it's like we're racing towards this future without a roadmap?
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting. Because it's not just about AI and automation anymore. It's about this bigger question of how do we make sure these technologies are used for good?
And not just to make a quick buck or, create some dystopian hellscape.
Exactly. You know, it's funny because we talk about AI and jobs, but this conversation goes even deeper than that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this whole other layer of the onion, and Harari calls it dataism.
Dataism. What's that all about?
So basically, it's this idea that data is becoming like the most important thing in the world.
More important than like human experience.
Yeah, like Harari's arguing that we're shifting from valuing knowledge and wisdom to valuing algorithms and data sets.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, I guess you can kind of see that happening already.
Oh, totally. Think about like the recommendations you get on Spotify or how we navigate with GPS. It's all data.
Right. And like those targeted ads that seem to know exactly what you're thinking.
Exactly. And now imagine that on a massive scale, algorithms making decisions about healthcare hiring, even criminal justice.
Okay, so yeah, that gets into some pretty ethically murky territory.
Right, and that's what some of these experts are worried about, like Jaron Lanier.
Oh, I like him. He's done a lot of work on virtual reality, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's concerned that this whole data-driven world could actually dehumanize us.
Dehumanize us, how so?
Well, if our value is reduced to the data we generate, what happens to everything else that makes us human? Our creativity, empathy, our ability to think for ourselves.
Right. It's like we become just another data point.
Exactly. And Lanier's point is that this could happen without us even realizing it.
Kind of like the frog in boiling water.
Exactly. So it's like we're talking about this massive shift in how we see ourselves in the world, and it's all happening under the surface.
Wow. So we've covered a lot of ground in this conversation, from superhuman intelligence to AI taking our jobs to basically becoming slaves to algorithms.
It's a lot, right? But here's the thing. I don't want people to come away from this feeling totally overwhelmed or like the future is hopeless.
Yeah, it's not about predicting a dystopian future. It's about understanding the possibilities.
Exactly. It's about realizing that we have agency, we have choices to make.
And that understanding these trends gives us a chance to actually shape the future we want to see.
Exactly. And that's why I think these conversations are so important, because the future of work isn't predetermined. It's something we're all creating together right now.
So we better start making some choices.
Exactly. And on that note, I think we'll wrap it up here. But seriously, folks, go check out this article. It'll give you a lot to think about. And who knows, maybe it'll even inspire you to get involved in shaping the future of work.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right, everybody, until next time, keep those minds curious, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.